What happens when you decide to watch every horror movie in every horror franchise for the modern era? You start to reevaluate your life decisions. That's what happens. But we did it anyways, with the goal of pitting every franchise up against each other to once and for all determine which franchise is the king or queen of all horror franchises. The only rule we have is that the franchise must have at least 5 movies. It must of course be horror related, and it has to be from the 80s or more recent. Franchises that start out in the 70s but mainly goes through the 80s and newer counts. Starting out the whole shebang, we have the franchises that by far delivers the most boobs, sex, and gore. Wrong turn. We will be going through the franchise all the way up till the remake. Before we, at the end, look at the movie that started it all back in 2003, Wrong Turn itself. To finally answer the long-lost question, was this movie good enough to start a franchise consisting of 6 movies and a remake? To finish off the franchise, we're going all the way back to the original, Wrong Turn.
Wow, so Wrong Turn, the original, the one that started this whole shebang.
Yep.
So, like, initial thoughts about this movie when you saw it now after... When was the last time you saw this?
When it first came out.
Same. And that is many years ago.
Yeah, well, I don't even remember what year it came out.
No, I do remember it though. Like, even though I just watched it once many years ago, I do remember it because, of course, this was at the time where a lot of these type of movies came out, like the slashers. It had like a reputation at the time for being like a decent movie, and I'm gonna say it is a decent movie.
Yeah, around this time, I feel like I was tortured with Wrong Turn, Hills Have Eyes.
I Know What You Did Last Summer, Urban Legend, Scream. Like, Scream was maybe a bit earlier, but yeah.
But yet, no. Now having watched this again, I actually didn't mind it.
No, it holds up, and I am though very surprised. This movie doesn't have sex, boobs, and a lot of gore.
No, it didn't.
What the fuck happened to the franchise after the first one?
Why did they go that way? Why did they go
because
that route?
I honestly, when we watched this now, I don't remember it not having boobs and sex.
So the story is quite sad because Jessie had gone through a breakup with her boyfriend, and therefore her friends wanted to cheer her up and decided to take her out on a trip. And it was one that they ended up regretting big time, which is
because there's a series of unfortunate events there because they have a flat tire or something, which ends up with Chris crashing into them, which means at this point the cars are basically totaled, so they're stuck there, so they gotta go find some help. And unfortunately, before like all of that happened, they did a wrong turn.
Sadly, in the beginning, it sucks that Evan and Francine, right? Yeah, that they died so quickly. It's so soon, and I wanted to see more out of Evan because I do recognize him from other movies. I'm not sure if it was like Disney or whatever, but I wanted to see more from him. I wanted to see a little fight.
Because the rest of the gang went to find help, and Evan and Francine stayed behind. So, did they have sex?
No.
Why? So they went. Okay, first of all, we gotta like sort of like address that there is not the typical like this stereotypical characters in this movie, because usually you have a jock, you have a slut, you have like a nerd and like a drug head or something like that. There's not really a slut in this movie, though. Like we have to address that how they dress that's just how we did it back in the days.
Yeah.
That's how we dressed.
I used to dress like the girls, so I can't say anything.
Yeah, so they went to the cabin, and that's where they find all the weird shit. And I'm super surprised they even went deep, like
Into the
because
house.
they had to pee though. So they
I would've
really
just
had
peed in
to
the
pee.
trees. I'm sorry, I would have not
In
gone
the trees.
I would not have gone into that house cabin at all.
No, not really. But then they get trapped. Francine is there.
Yeah.
Parts of her. She gets killed. They take a nap. They ate a big dinner probably. They took a nap and they managed to escape.
Yeah, but can we mention how they saw how that cabin looked and they didn't think, let's get the fuck out of here, until like it was too late?
Yeah. Like it took way too long, especially for the one girl that was she had a big bladder, a small bladder because she had to pee. She must be blind as a bat.
Yeah, I know. Seeing all that stuff that she was seeing.
Yeah.
Get your
Yeah. But so this is where I have a fun fact though, because when they escape from this place and they go to like the car park, and you remember Chris was trying to like distract the hillbillies, so he ran.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And he ran and he gets shot in the leg.
Yeah.
In that scene, he breaks his ankle. But he breaks his ankle on the other foot than the foot he was shot in.
Did he?
So it made it really weird and difficult for him to... He limps on the wrong foot.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I don't know how if it did it in the movie or something, but they had a problem at least because he broke his ankle.
Up. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Actor's life is a tough life.
Can we go just a little forward to where, because he ends up, he didn't even make it far before they shot him, which was so hilariously dumb. And then the other guy says, hey, you guys, go help him. Let me distract them.
Yeah.
So he hauls ass and takes off after making some noise, and they follow him, right? So they help Chris get him into the car, and all three of them are in the car, and they start to drive away. They spot their beloved friend Scott running, and so they decide to drive and pick him up. Right?
He's a skinny white boy, so he runs. He is portrayed to run pretty fast and pretty far.
He ran pretty fast. Yes, he did. And what's stupid is the moment they stop the car and wait for him, they realize he stops. There's a fucking reason why he stops. And so they're screaming and crying and telling him to get to the car. What is he gets shot again, right? Because he got shot twice before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets shot again.
Yeah, and three times. That's when they see the.
And they realize that he got shot now at this time. And his girlfriend is freaking crying, screaming his name. And the freaking Chris is like calming her down, like, it's okay. And what does she do? Freaking Jessie, what does she fucking do? She's the driver of the car. It's okay. It's okay. You'll be okay. He's gonna be okay. Fucking drive! Drive that goddamn car! Do it! You're gonna die! Why? Why are they so stupid? Why do you need two people to comfort the fucking chick crying? Why? Why do you need to comfort her? Drive! You see the hillbillies coming. He's dead. There's nothing you can do to save him. Leave. Save yourselves. You're so stupid. And Ren.
I'm just like... I'm so shocked.
What?
We have talked about this entire franchise. We have talked about Wrong Turn 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the first time you have ranted, and you rant about this movie? It makes no fucking sense!
I ranted about the other ones too!
You didn't rant!
Okay, well, you know, I got mad because they killed, like, what is it? Is it part 3 where they killed the little guy?
4.
4, where they killed the little guy? I was mad!
You expressed
okay, you know what? Okay, so
madness.
So those scenes are like an annoyance, but this one like totally gave me anxiety.
Yeah, no, I remember. I remember how you reacted. Yeah. But like the thing is, first of all, it's very weird that Scott that runs like he can run. He runs for a long time and still the hillbilly catches up to him.
Yeah, especially you said
and it was one of the big ones, and they just had a nap, an after dinner nap.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then they shoot him, and as you say, like Scott stops up. I would say like that's plausible because like when you've been running for that long and he didn't really warm up, and they see him running and he stops, he might have a cramp. You never know. So of course they give him a little time to see if like, oh, maybe he just needs to stretch his calf or something. But then the third arrow goes through his chest, and then that's when I was like, no, this is not a cramp, and I would just drive. So they were slow. But other than that, though, there isn't much to point out with this one. It's a pretty decent movie. But the question that we were supposed to try to answer is like, how did this start a franchise? Because the hillbillies that are in this movie, which is One Eye, Three Fingers, and Sawtooth, they are the hillbillies that are with us through the entire franchise. How the fuck did they become slasher villains like that? With the same number of movies as Ghostface?
Fuck those hillbillies.
No story.
And I'm pretty sure they never have been mentioned with names as well. It's just that they're credited with the names. I don't know why it turned into a franchise.
I don't know either. I can't answer that, to be honest with
And
you.
also, like, when it started a franchise, how did it go, like, south from the second movie?
It took a
whole different turn.
Freaking turn, yeah, it was. From
It
something
took a-
decent.
Oh, no, I see what you did there.
Oh.
They took a wrong turn. I don't know, maybe they just wanted to continue the franchise with the same premise, with a lower budget, straight to video, and they know how do we get people to pay attention. I've told you this, 1 minute of sex equals 40 minutes of attention span.
You have a movie. There you go.
Yeah, but yeah, no, as for the answer of how this started a franchise, I have no fucking idea. But as for a movie itself, for its time, it was a decent to okay plus movie. That means that we are done with the Wrong Turn franchise, though.
Thank God!
Hell, thank God, yeah.
We are so happy to be done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was torture from 2 to
6. Yeah.
The remake, the first one, superb.
Yeah.
So if anything, like we've mentioned, if you cannot deal with sex and boobs and just flat out stupidity and gore, then watch Wrong Turn 1. Skip all the way to the very last one, which is the remake.
Yep.
Save yourself from torture.
Yeah. But also, we gotta also say though, like in all fairness, if you love horror movies that relies on sex and boobs, Wrong Turn is probably a pretty decent franchise for you because it has a lot of boobs and sex. So for those people, and there's a lot of them, this is a good franchise. So yeah. But we are gonna have to continue with another franchise because fucking hell, we have so many franchises to go through. There's so many franchises. I was surprised. So one down, 20 plus to go or something. So
make sure you guys check them all out as well as our podcasts.
Yeah. So well, let's just leave it like that, and until next time, we're gonna go into a new franchise.
Let's go.
All right. Cheerio.
You say so.